So it looks like everyone's pissed off at televangelist Joel Osteen for hesitating to open the doors to his megachurch to the victims of Hurricane Harvey. In light of this story, people are criticizing Joel Osteen for preaching Christian morality, preaching the morality of altruism, of helping out your neighbor. Give back to your community, give to your church so that we can take care of the needy and help out the less fortunate.
He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money.
Meanwhile, Joel Osteen is living that mansion life. Wow. Look at these beautiful houses. Look at these big ass pools. My goodness. I don't see Sam Harris rolling in cribs like these. And this hypocrisy is not unique to rich televangelists. Take Michael Moore, for instance. Michael Moore likes to go around the country, go around America, making movies about how awful capitalism is and how greedy the 1% is and how greedy and selfish all these big corporations are and how Americans should come together and take care of the less fortunate. Americans should vote up higher taxes so that the government can use those funds to make sure that everyone has adequate access to health care and access to education and make sure that everyone's taken care of, everyone has a good paying job. Meanwhile, Michael Moore likes to kick back in his multi-million-dollar beachfront vacation house. Wow. Look at this pad. Then you have socialist Bernie Sanders, who constantly rails against the millionaires and billionaires and talks about how Americans need to come together and make sure that everyone, every man, woman, and child has access to adequate health care and education and a livable wage. So color me surprised when Bernie Sanders used his wife's inheritance to buy a $600,000 beachfront vacation house in Vermont. And then you have Al Gore, who likes to tell us that we all need to make sacrifices by giving up fossil fuel energy in effort to fight climate change. Meanwhile, Al Gore needs to live in big houses that use 20 times the energy as the average American household. All while he gasses up a private jet so he can fly around the world and tell people that they need to reduce their carbon footprint.
I hope now you boys see that this is totally serial.
So it's completely understandable that people get pissed off at these hypocrites for sitting atop their high horses, lecturing us depraved mammals while they practice the opposite of what they preach. But I like to think of it like this. These hypocrites are living proof that their moral code of altruism is poppycock. You ever notice how difficult it is to practice altruism? After all, you never see people who denounce murder struggle to not slaughter anyone. You usually see contradictions only when people preach bullshit ethics to begin with. You know why Joel Osteen and Michael Moore own multi-million-dollar vacation homes? Because owning multi-million-dollar vacation homes kicks ass. Kicking back in a big house on the beach kicks ass. Having a nice big clean pool to swim in on your property, fucking awesome. We also have Leonardo DiCaprio, who likes to lecture us on the dangers of climate change and tell us to reduce our carbon footprint and make sacrifices and try to give up fossil fuel energy, all while he gasses up a big yacht so he can throw a weekend-long party for all of his buddies. Hell yeah, who doesn't want to party on a big yacht? That sounds like fun. I'll tell you what people don't want to do, Leonardo DiCaprio. Pay more than $3 for a gallon of gasoline. The point is, instead of obsessing over all of these hypocrites and all of these contradictions, maybe we should question their entire moral code to begin with. If I'm to prioritize the well-being of others above my own well-being and my own interests and my own desires and my own happiness, well, to what degree? For instance, I recently got this brand new iPhone 7 and I love it, but I could have settled for an iPhone 4S, a refurbished iPhone 4S. I could have gotten by on an iPhone 4S and I could have donated the savings to a local children's hospital, which begs the question, does simply owning this brand new iPhone 7 make me a selfish, greedy, uncaring piece of shit. I also own hundreds of video games and various video game consoles. In fact, I plan on eventually buying the brand new Nintendo Switch. But do I really need a brand new Nintendo Switch? After all, I can get by on enjoying Super Nintendo or GameCube or Wii U. Actually, you know what? When I finally get the brand new Nintendo Switch, I'm not going to enjoy it for myself. That would be selfish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a less fortunate kid whose parents aren't rich enough to lie to him about Santa Claus, and I'm going to give that kid the brand new Nintendo Switch. Whoa, wait a minute. If I give the kid a brand new Nintendo Switch and he accepts it, and he enjoys playing it and it makes him happy, well, then isn't he being selfish? Well, I'm sure at some point the kid will realize how ungodly selfish he is and be ashamed of himself to the point where he'll pawn the Nintendo Switch for money, and then he'll go to Skid Row and find a starving homeless man and buy that homeless man a delicious sandwich. Wait a minute. Now, if the kid buys the homeless man a sandwich and the homeless man enjoys eating the delicious sandwich, well, isn't that homeless man being selfish? God, when does it ever end? This is why altruism is poppycock. It leaves people confused, constantly battling the dilemma of, am I allowed to be happy versus am I doing enough for others? It drives people insane. Altruism also leaves people defenseless in the face of collectivism. When politicians and authoritarians say things like, you need to pay your fair share, you need to make sacrifices, you need to give back to your community. Says who? You're not the boss of me, bitch.
It's on me.
Patrick, that's my money.
Have you learned nothing about sharing?
But most of all, when taken to its extreme logical conclusion, altruism leaves people bitter and miserable. How about this? You decide how happy you want to be and how much you want to help others. And if anyone has a problem with that, you tell them that they can get bent.